I would like to answer this question about what kind of solution port operators are looking at. I will try to say there are two kind of operators. One in which case the port authority itself is operating the terminal, besides being the landlord. Okay, and then there are terminal operators who have private operators. Okay, those who are working under a port operator. Okay, so these are the two business models that we are talking about. And when it comes to the solutioning, okay, port authorities being the landlord, okay, they have vested interest in understanding how the terminal operators, okay, they are utilizing their land or any assets that they own. So their vested interest would be in the optimal utilization of those assets. Besides that, they will also ensure that the regulatory authority and their vested interest on compliance to certain regulatory policies and all that is also taken care of, well attended to. Besides the local economy, how does it help local economy grow along with that? Because it's not just port, but they are also looking at the economy around it. Okay, so they would be looking at different kind of solutions. Whereas the terminal operator, okay, who of course had a different kind of relation with the landlord owners, okay, at the same time they would be like to have a much more optimal solutions. Okay, TOS, terminal operating system that we talk about, their emphasis will be more on let's say automation. Their emphasis will be more on ensuring that they do the planning much more efficient and optimal way. They will also be looking at ensuring that their compliance, okay, to the regulatory policies and rules, okay, or regulations are proper. I mean, they don't find themselves on the wrong foot, doing something odd. Okay, that they get to have some challenges with. So, okay, just to summarize, Port Authority would be more looking at solutions using which they can have a better oversight over their assets, okay, as well as a compliance to the various regulatory authorities which are their stakeholders. Whereas the terminal operating systems, they will be looking at more automation, okay, integration with the ecosystem, okay, and optimization. Well, the technical requirement over the last few years, there are two dimensions to it, okay. One is the dimension driven by the business values, okay. So business itself is growing, okay. There is always like larger vessels that they have to deal with, mega vessels we call it, okay. And then there are alliances at the shipping line. Then the business model itself between the port operator and the terminal operator, okay, that also is evolving, okay. So that has driven its own set of requirements. Then it comes to the technology side of it, okay. With the advent of technologies like IoT, big data, and automated key cranes, okay, so they have also put their own demand, okay, on its adoption. Like 5 years back, if somebody could have asked me like, how is smart, devices or what role smart devices are going to play in the scheme of thing, we couldn't have think of the ideas that we are thinking of it now. Okay, so with the adoption of technology and the more and more it will be adopted and become mainstream, okay, more and more requirements will be coming up. Okay, so like in India, okay, smart port initiatives are requirements are slightly different than what we have in let's say ports of Hamburg, okay, because their adoption of technology and the maturity of its adoption is slightly higher as compared to what we have in Asia Pacific region or the region in the Middle East. So a lot of time the requirements are also driven by the availability of the suppliers, technology or solution suppliers, and adoption of the technology itself, maturity of its adoption. You look at the definition of smart port, okay, it varies between regions. Okay, so some had a different definition of, because they are already at a a certain level of automation and optimization and all that. So their definition varies entirely different than the ones which are still starting up or still doing it manually. There are certain business-related challenges which are impacting everybody, okay? In terms of, let's say, regulatory compliance, like SOLAS. Okay, so that will keep on, so regulatory authorities will keep on challenging or creating new requirements, okay, or opportunity, okay, for every region for them to comply with. Okay, but besides the regulatory authority, and I'm talking about world bodies, you know, like WCOs and all that, there will be local level challenges, okay? Like we have been trying to work with local terminal operators back in Indian region, okay? So they have their own set of challenges, okay? Like RFID adoption, okay, OCR adoption and all that. So like I was saying, regulatory authorities are going to give us more and more challenges, okay? And that will keep on driving the growth, okay? Be it on the IT side or the business side, okay? Besides that, there are drivers like equipment manufacturer. They are coming up with more and more, automated heavy machineries to deal with challenges related to, let's say, mega vessels. Okay, so though mega vessels are coming up large, they can handle more than 15K TEUs. Okay, but it's not the length which is increasing; it's the width. Okay, so you need bigger cranes. Okay, so that is another growth area, right? So there are things happening at the business level, okay, which are impacting the whole ecosystem. Okay, so and as we know that industry itself is going by, as per one of the consultants, at the rate of about 5 to 6%, exactly, depending on the region, and that will have its own opportunity at different regions, and the region had to work with that.